Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season number 6. I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Ruptur for Truesight TV. It's a TI5 America Qualifier preview with Leviathan up against Complexity in a 2-game series. Now, there's another big match going on, but nobody really wants to see that. We know what you really want to see, and that's the two NA boys in a showdown. Ruptur, how is it going, man?
Just here, chilling, just having a good time, and yeah, looking forward for some classic NA Dota, I guess. Some good old American action. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the meta's going to influence here. Basically, are we going to see DK picked up? He's been a big hero in the Summit today, and as I saw, he was still picked up in this game as well. Although that draft got a little crazy toward the end. But he really is showing power here. Visage is another hero who's another first pick for these that isn't banned out right now. We do see Undying and Gyro banned out, as well as Queen of Pain and Witch Doctor. So I'm really hyped for this game. I was talking to Beef beforehand, and he was saying they've got really high confidence level. They're ready to go, but he's hoping they don't underestimate Leviathan, because of course Leviathan is that dark horse that'll come out of nowhere and really take you by surprise if you're not careful.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty straightforward, I would say, for both. Particularly for Leviathan.
Yeah.
Especially because even though Complexity are like, yeah, we're pulling some really good results on scrims and whatsoever, it's like, well, yeah, but honestly, scrims, they're just practices, and even they can have a amazing result, but when it really matters,
is that amazing result going to come through?
Right?
Yeah, and that's what's really going to matter. We will see Spirit Breaker Visage, so the boys in blue over here versus the Browns of Complexity, Earth and Beastmaster. Hopefully they want to take those Browns to the Super Bowl, but we'll see. Maybe, they might want to go to the Super Bowl, as in TI, but that wasn't what I was referencing. We do actually see a Chin ban, though. I'm not really sure who they're specifically targeting it on Complexity, but Chen is another one of those heroes that in this metagame is becoming increasingly popular.
Yeah, I would say Chen is just, maybe they're drafting something around, Chen is really good to offset the Spirit Breaker initiation, and maybe they're looking for something that gets offset by massive healing.
They're scared of the push, though.
Or early rotations, maybe. It could be another factor. It could be like, okay, I'm just gonna send a random chain creep so the Beastmaster can TP, roar someone, and just get an easy kill. So maybe they're pulling, they're banking into maybe a greedy core, or a greedy support, maybe like an Enigma or a Spectre, or
even an Enchantress. Medusa could be reasonable here. They've got a lot of stun for the Earthshaker and the Beastmaster already. That attack speed are all synergized nicely. And you notice they ban out the Drow, of course. You've got Visage on the other team. You have to do that. But we're actually going to see Zeus banned out here right after. So a little afraid of nuke damage despite their tankiness.
Well, you don't have to just ban the Drow. You can pick it for yourself, or just... with a Visage, the thing is, there are more options that you usually tend to have with versus a Visage Drow, because it's like, okay, you know what, you picked your Drow, pick your Visage. I was just gonna pick something like a Slark, or someone who can just blow both of them out of the water.
Yeah. Or
God forbid, like a Phantom Assassin that could just shred him to pieces.
Yeah, where'd your Gleamkeeper's Cloak go, bro? Oh wait, Phantom Strike. Sorry, it happens.
Yeah. Like, oh, good thing that you're relying heavily on your range and your ability to push me out. Oh wait, I have a blink strike. So yeah.
So we're seeing a Jakiro pick up for Complexity Gaming, and this brings us back to, I want to say it was it this past fall that Jakiro was really popular as an offlane hero.
TI4 pretty much.
But it was right after TI4, right?
Even before. It was before, during, and after, because you saw like Jakiro core, you saw Jakiro off, you saw Jakiro support, you saw Jakiro everywhere.
And it was part of the Yules thing that, okay, he's a hero who synergizes so well with Yules, and Yules is such a good item. Wait, I have called it, ladies and gentlemen, it's an Enchantress. Ruptur, you casted the other game I was casting last night, right?
Yep.
The Boreal and, who else was it?
Oh no, I didn't. I casted the other one, the one with crap. What was the name? It was Isurus versus Megalodon.
Yeah, that was the other one. That was. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that one. But last night's game, I'm trying to find it. I want to say it was NOBA Boreal. Yep, it was.
Yeah, that was probably.
And who was it? It was Boreal with the Enchantress. Yeah, played by Jeppins. Absolutely stomped in the first game, in the off lane, playing it the new Slashers way. And I'm a little surprised that they picked it up into this lineup. There's a lot of burst damage for Leviathan, and now there's a Broodmother for even more burst to just shut Enchantress down in the mid game.
Can you enlighten me a little bit about that Slashers way? I honestly, to
go
be
in
honest,
the off lane.
I don't care too much about the guy, so
no, yeah, it's all good.
I need you to throw me a bone here.
Easy. You go in the off lane. It's the skill build is 404. Skill build not found. But you basically are able to trade hits with the supports for untouchable, and then you go. I want to say something, and then Ags. I'm not too familiar with it. I just know the guide was released recently, and so it's very popular right now. But Enchantress, I mean, she got a huge buff with the impetus now going through magic damage, and through magic immunity, excuse me, and the enchant actually being able to kind of reconvert your own creep, keep them around a little longer.
Refresh.
Yeah, that's a much better way of saying it. But it gives you a lot of extra presence, a lot of extra push, and that's what this metagame's about right now. Getting an early advantage, winning your lanes, and then pushing off of that advantage. Because in the last patch, high ground was so easy to hold. You could sit back and have a sniper on your team and just, okay, we can hold high ground for hours, bro. We can survive forever. We'll be fine. Now, not so much.
Well, here's the deal, though. It's not so. I mean, they're going for a full push lineup, though. I mean, that seems to be the plan for complexity. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think it is the right. I mean, I don't think it's the most predominant meta, or just shaking up to be like TI4 meta. You know, full push blown up.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's like that. It's not so cut and dry. I feel like it's more about getting early tier 2s and then try to play it out a little bit like the previous patch. You know, try to get pretty well prepared to high ground. It's not as difficult as before, but still it is pretty crucial, and the bounce backs are real.
Yeah.
If you screw that up.
But once you break high ground, you're pretty cemented in, okay, we're actually ahead. They're not going to come back very easily. They can still do it. We're not counting that out, but it's... I think what the new patch has done is it's meant, okay, you can't just deathball push like TI, because that was just, okay, I'm level 6, let's push. Everybody push. Push.
Just getting Raxus at minute 18.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this isn't fun.
Now you're getting at like minute 28.
And you have to have won your lane. Like, if you lose your lanes, you can't push, because you're going to get punished in the team fights.
That was inherent of that meta as well, so, I mean... That's pretty much the counter to heavy pushing lineup. Just destroy them in lane if you're able to.
Yep.
If that happens, the death push lineups are just gonna be total garbage.
Oh. Ooh. And now they pick up the axe. I mean, this is 4 men and a Sproink, basically. They're like, you do not touch our Enchantress. You get your dirty hands off of her. She is a beautiful young woman, and she should be treasured. Otherwise, Beastmaster's going to yell at you, Earthshaker's going to shake the ground up, Axe is going to say, just fight me, don't even touch her, Jakiro's going to, well, bring some Icy Hot in, just in case.
He's going to puke.
Yeah. He pukes up the Icy Hot. But this gives them some control against the Broodmother. Of course, it won't kill the Visage Birds as easily.
It's decent, though. I mean, it's
still pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the problem here, or actually something worth noting is complexities are kind of locked in heavily into this. Oh, I like that. But complexities are kind of locked into this because they have like really, really crappy late game unless this Shaker is able to get, you know, big big items. In that case, you're already winning.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the upside for this is the fact that the Enchantress is going to benefit a lot against this lineup, because most of this lineup doesn't really want to get up close and personal to you. You know, Alina is going to keep her distance. Spirit Breaker, even though it's going to charge to you as an initiator, there does happen the situation that it goes backwards. You know, just imagine he gets ganged up by the Enchantress, he tries to charge away, and then one random impetus shot just starts following the guy, and yeah, we're back to Warner Brothers cartoons once again. Leshrac might have said that a little bit. Broodmother is also another target that usually when she scrambles to just get out of vision, with a random sentry, she usually is going to take a lot of impetus damage as well. So that's what I really like. I honestly feel like this Enchantress is more about the more of a build like we saw on what's the name on the first match of the patch, which was, I think, crap, it was.
I should know what you're talking about. It was
Vega.
Tinker.
No, it wasn't Vega. It was
Tinker versus somebody, right?
Yeah, on Dream League.
On Dream League, yeah. I know what you're talking about, where Enchantress was played as like a semi-core, and that shows her power instantly.
NIP, I think it was NIP versus like Empire or something like that.
It was something like that.
Yeah, it was versus Empire, and Empire still won, but it was a little bit of a rocking on the situation there. But
yeah, it is going to be a support Enchantress though. She's already picked up. Well, I'm saying that. It's not 100% a support Enchantress, as she does have observers and a smoke.
I don't think so.
I still...
Sure.
It's iffy on the cores. Let's go ahead and introduce our lineup. So I'll start off with Leviathan. We've got Jenkins on the Broodmother, one of his quickly becoming signature heroes, almost as much as his Pudge. He plays the hero very well. Gonna look for a bounty rune. No, not gonna get that bounty rune. Just hanging around. But meanwhile, on the bot lane, you'll see Shibby on the mid Lina. Definitely one of his signatures along with his Storm, picking up the bounty rune there. We'll have Shredder on the Leshrac, headed off toward the bot lane. Nusham will be on the Visage as support, and who am I missing? Oh, Flying Zebra on the Spirit Breaker, and that is going to be a core Leshrac, something I'm very excited about, but take it away, Ruptur.
Yeah, it should be pretty much that straight away position. Well, the other option would be a Spirit Breaker, but now we're going to have Fly on the top lane facing against Jenkins here and try to zone him out as much as humanly possible, reckoningly possible, depending on your take on the situation. Seafreak is going to be with the Enchantress, which I'm pretty sure he's going to start to farm up the enemy jungle. That's pretty much going to be his role here.
Cutting it off from the Brood too.
Yeah, JDL is going to be with the Axe, rocking that mango and also that pet, so he'll be chilling, he'll be jamming. Swindle Melons with the Beastmaster in the middle lane. And last but not least, on the bottom lane, as kind of the semi-off laner for complexity, is going to be Moonmeander with the Archaea.
I'm really surprised they put him down here in the off lane over either the Enchantress or the Jakiro, and now I see why Enchantress had to go to the enemy jungle. She had no chance in her own jungle. It's actually warded up. But luckily she foresaw that, and everything's fine there. But Jenkins is not going to have a fun lane. As Brood, you either want to dominate your lane, or you're going to say, okay, I'll get some creeps in the lane, get some creeps in the jungle. Creeps in the lane, creeps in the jungle. With Enchantress in the jungle, how are you going to do that?
Well, here's the deal. He's not going to have an easy lane now, but the only thing he needs to be is just soaking experience.
Yeah.
Until the supports rotate, or until Axe rotates, and then just pretty much go ham whoever is next, you know. I mean, Seafreak, I don't think he can... I mean, he has some fighting capabilities versus the Brood, but honestly, I mean, if Jenkins is able to amass a good amount of Spiderlings, she should drop... Okay, that's a really
That's a 2-man tower! Triss is just like, I'll take this, thank you. She is a predator, Ruptur. You can't forget that.
Yeah. Well, also the center help a lot there.
Yeah.
You know, they tackle.
Oh, they'll dust up Brood! Jenkins he's like, okay, forget the webs. We're walking. We're hoofing it. We got 8 legs. We should be faster than this, right?
I don't really know what's his plan here. Pray for 50 mana?
Mommy needs a new pair of boots over here. Like, Oh dear, Swindle is going to get charged out though, and Shibi's here to defend. They could be okay. They'll throw out the Whirling Axes.
Maybe they're using it as a bait.
Jenkins? Oh, he's able to get away! He'll get forced out here. Fly will throw the Dual Breath, but it won't actually slow Flying Zebra thanks to the Haste Rune he was able to pick up. And wow, Jenkins will live to fight another day, or should we say bite another day.
And he also retakes some control of his own jungle, considering that Flying Zebra is already there as well.
Okay, meanwhile in the bot lane, though, Leshrac has taken his own very early tower.
I feel like this is bigger for Leviathan, honestly. Just because you kind of expected this to happen on the side of complexity. You know, it's a really heavy push lineup after all.
Yeah.
The problem is, well, look at Seafreak. He's completely surrounded here, and I don't think he noticed until now.
Shredder's going to be able to throw out a Earth Splitter, as well as possibly a Lightning Bolt. If they even need it, they won't. First Blood will go over to Shibi on that Luna, and that's a big deal. Shutting down Enchantress this early on, I mean, she's got boots, but with the newer style of playing Enchantress, you need your levels very early. You need to be aggressive because you're fast, you hit hard with your ult, it goes through Magic Immunity, so you've got to do something before they get BKBs up and before most of them get upgraded boots up, in my opinion, because that's where your move speed is really coming in. You're able to chase them down, and if they try to run, well, they're just taking more damage from Impetus.
I would say just a measure of your advantage before Lina hits 6, before most of the burst damage, before the Spirit Breaker hits 6.
Yeah.
That's what you really want to get your tempo into. Just try to delay the enemy levels as much as humanly possible. Well, sadly, Shibi's already level 6, so Laguna Blade is going to be something she needs to be worried about. Also, another important part of this is the fact that, well, honestly, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't save up the Laguna Blade just for this Enchantress. I mean, there are no
right now. Yeah, you basically one hitter
targets to focus on. It's like it's an axe, okay, right? Just stun him, shut him down, and just keep the burst damage to the Enchantress, because most of pretty much the fighting potential of complexity is relying on her. I mean,
at least in the early game, yeah.
It's damage over time, Swindle, it's control. It's a really good stun, but it's a stun. There's
not a lot of damage
output on that. Yeah, and Moon Meander, I mean, he's not 6 yet, so
you need to focus down the Enchantress, and if they can keep her down long enough, they will shut her down. But she is smoked up with 2 very useful creeps. That's a targeted stun, as well as a AoE stun. The Beastmaster Hawk scouting out, knowing there's nobody coming in here. There's nobody to help Shibi. He picks up his stuff.
Pick your shit up, man.
Oh, that stomp was a bit off the mark, but the Ice Path will hit, the Rock will hit, they'll scream at her, and they'll be taking it down. Enchantress actually picking up the kill there, and then Lino with no chance to even get that Laguna Blade off. Even if she did, it would be a waste.
However,
split push coming out.
Push heavily, and also the Broodmother cutting creeps as well. So they're keeping a lockdown on all the other lanes. Still is a win for complexity. Just getting a tower and a Lina on the back of this is gonna be pretty good for them, but
yeah.
Ain't gonna come for free, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna get more XP on these supports and cores, at least for Leviathan, because they're gonna be able to move around quite a bit more. So Moomiander will be level 5 here, working towards this level 6, which will make a big difference when they start team fighting. And I see both these teams starting team fighting very soon. A little less so on Leviathan, just because they have the Brood to be able to pull out the Rat potential. But
and they don't need to. I mean, I feel like Leviathan have by far a better late game than complexity. Even
especially with Leshrac.
It doesn't look like it, because it's like, well, there's an Enchantress. I mean, she can just right-click people left, right, and center. Yes.
But she still dies to nukes if she doesn't get really tanky.
Yeah, I mean, and Enchantress is not going to go for a BKB anytime soon, and it's kind of really outside of the box, usually, getting a BKB on Enchantress until recently.
Oh, they do have an axe with a Vanguard up, though.
7-minute banger, good timing. It's just the fact that I feel like they should be applying a little bit more pressure if I am complexity, because you know you have a timer on your hands, and especially considering that Shredder is able to just farm magnificently on this Leshrac. I don't know how much room can you actually give to this guy.
Yeah, Shredder's sitting on just 5 last hits less than the axe on the enemy team, and Shibi right behind him with the rest of Complexity falling below that. Enchantress is going to pick up an Urn. I like this pickup just because it's going to give them a little extra tankiness on that Enchantress, so hopefully she lives through Laguna. And also, it gives them a heal that's more readily available. I mean, they've got Nature's Attendance, but it's not that much. Z-Freak. Oh, nice Ice Path from Fly here, but Enchantress will fall. And Zebra, coming on in, doesn't have an ult to use, but they will get slowed by the Leshrac Lightning Storm. It's not going to be enough to bring anyone else out.
Nothing else. It's just like, alright, we go in, we pick up Enchantress, we leave.
Yeah, you can't fight us.
Got that. Especially because I feel like re-engaging for these 3 heroes on the side of Leviathan was very dangerous, because as much as Farm as Shredder is having is mostly on utility items. He's still paper mache.
Until you get that Bloodstone, you're squishy.
600 hit points.
Yeah.
He's as squishy as all hell. I mean, someone could fart on China and he probably will faint. Okay, so they need to just make some time for the Shrek. But if he manages to finish off his, let's say, Bloodstone or, God forbid, an Octarine Core, this guy could actually tank a good amount of the damage coming from Complexity as long as they keep the Enchantress down. That's the main factor.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, Beastmaster and Enchantress are bringing their pets to work, and Leshrac is just, going to get called in by the Anti-Humane Society or whatever, but he's going to annihilate that with the ult. And he already put a skill point up into it at level 7 here. I really like his skill build, just for the fact that he's going ahead and saying, okay, I've got 1 point in the ult early. A lot of people won't get it because of the high mana cost, but when you're farming Lesh, it's such a good value point, I think. And then he's maxing the Lightning Storm to do damage and slow. Just the value point and splitter for the stun and the Diabolic Edict to push. It's very versatile, but it still gets the job done extremely well. As we can see right here in the jungle, he just melts creep waves. Meanwhile, Axe will find Jenkins in the bot lane. That's a big pick-off for them. But Flying Zebra and Shibby might try to find something else. Shibby does have that Laguna Blade, but it won't kill off anyone just yet. But Z-Freak coming in here with the clap will throw out that, and Axe will actually get no dunk off, but does get a double kill down there as he takes down Shibby as well. This is huge for the Axe, who actually is going to have a Blink Dagger in 700 gold, or 800, sorry.
Yeah, here the thing that it's a priority for Complexity is just get level 6 onto the Enchantress. She's already sitting at 1,000 gold, but yeah, Shredder, the good thing about the early level Impulse Nova is the fact that if you have any extra offset damage that you need to dump, because, I mean, that pesky jungle creep is sitting at like 50 health or something like that, I mean, it's just, you clear more efficiently pretty much anything that you see fit, and you're just spending like 70 mana, 140 tops,
Yeah.
So you can even work with regular stacks, not ancients, but regular stacks, and you should be doing quite fine.
Well, with the only 1 point in Edict, yeah, you can't work on the ancient stacks. Once you get 4 points in Edict, you can actually clear ancients relatively quickly. Quickly enough, anyway. It's not anything insane, but it gets the job done. I'm really surprised at Z-Freak's 0 points in Untouchable. It got a huge buff this past patch of 10 extra attack speed at all levels. Which, I mean, sure, 40 attack speed isn't much, but 130 attack speed is a ton.
Maybe he's valuing more sort
early
of
push.
A farming role.
Yeah.
As well as the Leshrac, pretty much try to bank on as much gold per minute as possible. In order to do so, you just try to max out Enchant. Of course, Nature's Attendance, I think that level 2 is just enough.
Yeah, and the fact that if they're going to kill him, they're just going to nuke him down. So, he doesn't really care about right-clicks, because none of them right-click that hard just yet. And by the time they do, hopefully he'll be level 16 or so. And really just saying,
I honestly don't think no one is going to be right-clicking him, period. I mean, the only one that could do that, it would be the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
And if the Spirit Breaker is right-clicking you without any remorse or just head-on going for you, either one or two things. He is just initiating into you, which it wouldn't matter the Untouchable, because, I mean, you're going to get, pretty much charge, ulti, and that's the end of it. Or the Spirit Breaker is so damn farmed that he's going to be the main carry or the main physical damage dealer for Leviathan. In that case, you're completely screwed and you already lost the game.
I don't think that's going to happen, though, with Flying Zebra on it. We do see a Midas, though, coming up on Jenkins' Brood.
That's pretty much the scenario that happened, because, I mean, you could say, I mean, it happened before on the previous matches that I was casting on MLG with Monkeys Forever. You know, even though of course Monkeys Forever is more of a natural farming hero and such, but he started off as an offlaner and just transitioned into a core. He didn't reach that critical mass that it's the bash lord that, you know, pubs do know Spiritbreaker is famous for. But I mean, there is that possibility. It's the same thing as like a Naga support transitioning into a core. Exactly what I was just thinking of. It's a lot like that Naga support where it's like, oh, I get enough, and we go down, and Shredder gonna get hit with the Ice Path. There's a charge in though. Shredder is actually fine, and he might turn around and throw the Storm. Good slow. Spiritbreaker will come out, but that may prevent him from going on Lesh. And without... Oh, the level 6 is up on Z-Freak as well as level 7. But he's not going to be able to chase down Nushim yet, because he knows that, damage will be there. But Jenkins, meanwhile, getting taken down on the bot lane. An Echo Slam and a Chop, but he is dead, and that's a pretty big kill, as Jenkins is sitting... Well, 5th in net worth, but that's still quite a lot of net worth up on him. They've got to slow him down somehow, and that'll be their way of doing so. Yeah, I feel like Jenkins is getting a little bit... He's getting blindsided a little bit too many times, and that's something you cannot afford as a brood mother. Just cannot happen, man. This is the timing that you should be terrorizing the enemy supports, not the other way around, and... Moonmender just soloed you, and you didn't saw him coming. It's like, how does that happen? You have webs all over the place. Yeah. So maybe a little bit sloppy into the warding, honestly, on the side of Leviathan. And that's actually a 14-minute blink up on Moon. Yeah. That's I mean, even for him being in the offlane in a farming-ish role, that's pretty good. Just because of the utility you'll offer the hero, the fact that you can just say, oh, Brood's there, let's kill her. Enchantress is going for the Midas, though, so Complexity apparently believe in their late-game potential. It's a bit of a different draft, okay? Yeah. But the thing is, you're gonna have a lot of minions to, you know, I mean, the lineup itself, it tends to just spam a lot of minions, you know? Yeah. Have a Beastmaster with a Necro, already level 1, you have Boars, you have an Enchantress, you have a lot of minions to, you know, just roam around on the map, right? That's also a 15-minute Bloodstone on Lesh. Anyways, go on. Yep. Which, to be honest, in theory, it sounds like a really good idea, you know? It's like, okay, we're just gonna have a lot of minions and we're gonna try to overwhelm that. Yeah, but these minions do not grow, you know, by time. They don't get better. They're not like Jenkins. You know, oh, Jenkins again. They could see him, but they'll actually stun him up there. Trees are gonna go down, actually, as he takes that damage, and Jenkins is, well, up a creek without a paddle, as they say. He'll be working toward a Dagon. I believe... Okay, let me read here. That happened. There's something with the web. Just blow up the trees. If free movement is disabled, you will destroy nearby trees. Oh, yeah. And free movement is disabled if damage is taken. So, yeah, it will destroy the trees. That makes sense. Yeah, I thought it was something like that, but I had to read the skill to get the mechanics because I don't play Brood. I'm not a dirty spider picker, although I do like Spider-Man quite a bit. Completely separate, though. Anyways, the charge coming in on Swindle. As he'll get hit with full damage Visage Bursts. He summons his Necro buddies there. Will call out the Nushim, but may not be able to take it down. Does throw some axes. Beautiful Yules there, yeah. But nobody will fall yet. Nushim, though, is in a lot of trouble as a blink will come through. Moomeander with the wall. Nice stun from Leshrac, though. Shredder panic ulting. And actually, Moon could be going down here, but Shibby, he'll throw the Laguna Blade, won't secure the kill, as Visage will actually get that with the birds on the back end of the fight. But Shibby going down nonetheless. A bit of a disaster for Leviathan as they lose about 1,000 gold worth of advantage there. And we see Complexity really getting ahead with that fight. So, yeah, I don't know why the hell did the Visage just stood there. Like, I think he was microing the birds. Yeah, but he just set himself up just to get killed there. There was no... Even then, you need to just get the hell out of there with the birds as well. I mean, that was... you were in a really compromised position, and... That's a run, Forest, run type of scenario, right? Yeah, exactly. That's one of those GTFO scenarios. Really early Boots of Travel, I think it was on the Axe. Okay, the Axe. Yeah. It's not bad. I mean, of course. Yeah, and also the fact that as Jenkins is gonna get caught out here, caught by the Axe Call,
And dunked. Or not, but dead. Either way. And Jenkins is not having a fun game at the moment. But
he is getting totally shut down here.
I mean, as the axe in the scenario, what do you need? You've got a Vanguard, you've got a Blink. You don't really need the Crimson Guard for the team, because again, enemy team's not right-clicking very much. Maybe to protect against Visage Birds, but...
Yeah, the Spiderlings as well, but even then, the Spiderlings are not posing too much of a threat, because you're destroying Jenkins here.
Yeah. So just pick up your travels already. Save money on TPs. I described it the other day as like a TP investment. Like, subscribe now and you get unlimited TPs for the rest of their match, and we'll take 30 seconds off the cooldown if you call in the next 5 minutes. Like, it's such a great item.
Fair. I would buy it.
Oh, I'd buy it every game if I could.
$1, but
especially if they were only like $1. But
you don't get that movie, do you? I think it was Blade Runner. I think. I don't know.
I'm not catching that quote, and I really should if it's Blade Runner.
I mean,
but okay.
It makes a lot of sense about the boots travels, especially with a Beastmaster on your team, and as well as an Enchantress, because hypothetically this axe could have a global presence, like whatever he wishes to be. It's not whatever he could be. It's like, okay, get me a hawk there, and I'll just jump like like he was freaking, I don't know, special forces or something like that, But I mean, also as a result of this, Jenkins started to become a liability, to be honest, for Leviathan.
Yeah, he doesn't have that Dagon. He's not able to do much.
This Brute is just not doing it.
Oh, but Zephyr gonna get nukes down. Could go down actually, as they'll come on in here. Jenkins gonna pop the ulti. Flying Zebra will try to go after Enchantress, but not gonna quite find her. She'll actually be able to juke away, and the move speed is helping her so much here. But the long range Brood nuke will come on through. That's 3 down for Complexity. Gonna be a 4th as Fly hits the deck here. Only Zizzy
I stand corrected then.
Yeah. We're like, okay, Complexity are stopping. Jenkins is not doing anything. He's useless in these fights. Jenkins is like, I'll show you, casters. Let me in there.
Well, to be honest, he changed his method because he was getting solo picked up a lot. So
he
he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna join the rest of the team.
Yeah, and he'll be a good, what is it, like 600-700 gold from the Dagon right now. A big fight for Leviathan. I wish I'd looked at fight recap, but you can see it on the graph there. I mean, it dips straight down. Almost back to even, only about 1,000 gold advantage, which, keep in mind, 20 minutes in, that's not a lot of gold.
And actually, I really like this item build-up for Jenkins after the Midas. The fact of going Dagon, physical ratting out versus Complexity, it has been showing that is not working, man. You're not breaking that tier 2 bottom lane. You're not able to farm their jungle as comfortable as you wished you could. That's why you're getting picked up so much. Just
the other thing is, though,
the second best thing. Just join up with the rest of the team, get a Dagon, start zapping fools down. Especially because the Enchantress, again, she's not gonna go for a pipe anytime soon. She's not gonna go for BKB
anything
anytime soon. So
she needs to, but she can't because
yeah.
And it's basically the Midas for Heroes Dagon, okay? Like, if I can one-shot Enchantress with this, then it's definitely worth upgrading, because I can continue to one-shot her the whole game long. And then the enemy team is basically short a player. Like, let's be honest, it's a cruel thing to do to Enchantress. I mean, just look at her. She's so young, so innocent,
Man, I mean, Venison is kind of expensive these days. Man.
Yeah.
You need to eat, man.
Let's keep in mind, she is a predator.
Yeah.
She's a feisty redhead.
Predated upon? What the fuck is that even?
I don't even know.
Point is, she is gonna get hunted as well as a predator, but... wow, that showed my English capabilities, like Japan levels of...
It's all good, Russia.
Of the English language. And
she thinks she's a predator, but really she's just prey. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
I got you covered.
You're gonna be all fancy and going full predator on us? Okay. Let's see how it goes on the receiving end of that. And actually, interesting pick from the Flying Zebra. Maybe he might do what I think he will do, which is just transitioning into a position 1 Spirit Breaker with that Hand of Midas.
Or at least attempt to. This is something we're seeing more and more often with Spirit Breaker. Even when the situation seems like, okay, you're trying to end the game early, he's just like, okay, I'll grab a Midas. Because, let's be honest, Spirit Breaker doesn't need that many items. It's like, okay, I have an urn, I have boots, I'm pretty much good, guys. I'm fine. What do you need me for
At
now?
least for mid-game potential, yes.
Exactly,
but
yeah.
The thing is, like, then you have a huge gap to fill, because it's like, yeah, mid-game you don't need that many items, but then on super late game, or let me rephrase that, on later stages of the game, you're gonna need huge items. You know? You're gonna need like an AC, you're gonna need probably, in this case, a moonshot, even, an MKB, a BKB, you know, pretty high cost items on the later series of the game, which means that you need to start saving up a lot of gold early on the back of your mid game. Pretty much, your mid game doesn't need that many items, but you need to double down on the bigger guns, you know.
Yeah.
So that Midas is gonna help a lot doing that.
Oh, Shredder
transition.
up top. He does have the Aegis still and 12 Bloodstone charges to boot, so he's not gonna be losing too much. He'll actually just be down to 8 if he really loses his life here. But his first life already gone. Moon Meander. He's got the ult. He will pop it, but it looks like that's about all he'll do. As Shredder already has a BKB, and will take down not one, but help Shibby take down the second one, which I don't really think Shibby needed help with. But
okay, now Jenkins looks better into challenging this bottom lane now with a mini army of spiders. Even though that there is a sentry and observer ward here, he now starts to look quite scary, and Fly needs to be very careful because this Jakiro is sitting on 1,000 hit points. That's about it. No resistances whatsoever. However, the Yules is a good setup here.
Zizzy gets the taunt on the spiders. That'll keep them in the Jakiro's AoE, and Jenkins won't have his free pathing here. He will go down.
A lot of dust. They put like 3 dusts in there.
But I mean, you gotta make sure you kill the Brood. If you don't kill the Brood, you've just wasted not only Axe's boost of travel cooldown, which keep in mind it's not that low, but the Enchantress's enchant, she can't pick up a creep for a few seconds. The whole macro pyre as well, and a lot of Axe's mana. You've got to secure that kill. So 2 dusts, I think, is worth it there. Plus, it actually gives Fly some space to breathe.
Yeah.
Which, this is the problem I was thinking of. When the Brood's down here, he's torn away from the fight. So when Complexity go for these pickoffs, Jakiro's not there. You can see he's actually able to go up top now, even though Beastmaster just died, without fear of Brood automatically being at bot lane and pushing. So it does give them a lot of space up here.
Yeah, also big items that did show up for Leviathan. First of all, the BKB on the Leshrac, but also the Solar Crest on the Visage, which gives him a lot of effective HP just because of the evasion. And also, oh, nice. This is another perk about having a Leshrac, is that fact that if you know that a Hawk is nearby,
you just stand there.
Just pop your ulti. It's gonna get one shot it. You don't even need to have visual on that. It's just gonna melt.
It's like, hey guys, what if there was a built-in hero with Radiance? And I was like, no, too strong. But what if he has to have mana per second? Okay, that's fine, I guess. Like, that's basically Leshrac in a nutshell.
Fly just getting manhandled here. The familiars are actually doing some serious work, and Newsham is stepping up a lot his game here. But yeah, I mean, Shredder is starting to reach this critical mass here, which you could say, well, BKB versus Enchantress is not the best of choices, but
you still get through the attack speed slow though.
As well. But I mean, it does help him just because the raw HP is gonna help.
Yeah,
and it's able to at least don't worry about Moon Meander just jumping
and fly.
Yeah, and Fly, exactly. Also,
there is going to be a gem picked up, though.
The Shrek is just going to get beefier from here on. I mean, just core, hard.
Swindle!
Oh, wow.
And Ziz tries to get the call off, but that cast point is just too long. The Visage Familiars actually take him down. He will spot out the wards there, and he'll actually taunt one of the Familiars and take it down. But the other bird, he doesn't care. And Zebra is going to come on in here. He will go ahead and blink away, though, and that'll stop Zebra from engaging, but still. And Zebra might get these creeps here. It could be a pretty decent-sized pickup for him, even though he'll take a ton of pure damage. Actually, it didn't have the mana burn off cooldown.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Easy there.
He does have 3 earn charges, though, so he can actually afford to kill that thing if he knows there's no follow-up. The problem is, what if there's a smoked Enchantress nearby?
Could have been real there, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Zizis has already a gem as well and a Shiva's Guard to boot, so he's one of the... I mean, at 27-minute mark, this axe is just ripped.
And the Shiva's Guard will help him out a lot, tracking down the Visage Familiars. Also, the movement speed, slow. If he does that blast right before he calls, he'll have a little bit of extra time to kind of revert the nerf for a second, you know?
And also, it's really good vision just to deal with Jenkins, especially since they're popping dust and all that happy stuff. Oh, actually, Shibi is gonna notice him. And
Zizzy, what are you doing here?
Zizzy doesn't want to get noticed. He no feel no Japanese here. And yep, Zizzy just got found out. So Senpai's noticed you, man. And
oh dear, do they? They didn't notice something though. Oh, they'll ping it out.
Already, they saw it with a familiar.
I was about to say, like, guys, you got a little bonus in your cereal box there, and you're about to throw it away.
Newsham suddenly has his job cut. I mean, his job got 1,000 times easier because now he can deward at will. And honestly, complexity is just
crumbling.
I mean, Newsham is having a blast with this Visage, which is a really rare sighting to, you know. At least up until this patch, it was really rare to see like a good Visage just chilling, just balling. You know.
Yeah, especially without picking up the Drow. It's really shocking to see that much power pumping out of the Visage. So.
I mean, how's the skill goal? I mean, his skill is 5-1, and I think he died first without any kill. So
let me just go ahead and say that
a mega kill streak, right?
Yeah, you as a Visage, you get kills. The extreme range of Soul Assumption combined with the high damage it does, and the fact that you have familiars that can secure kills and they do high amounts of damage. I played him yesterday, maybe. And I'm not even good at Visage, but I was like 7-1 at one point in the game. And I'm like, guys, why don't the carries have gold? And then I realized I'd stolen all the kills with Soul Assumption, not even intentionally, just thinking, okay, I'll get him low enough the carry can right-click it down. No, it just does that much damage, you killed him. Yeah. You know? It's a good thing I wasn't playing Oracle.
Eventually, you just lost immediately, right?
Well, yeah. Because my team was feeding, but that's a whole nother story that they don't have to worry about in this meta.
Sure.
I'm gonna blame my team.
Poor team, they don't kill Steve.
Team is noobs. Team is noobs, cannot carry me.
Yes.
Not that I never played this year.
Aghanim Scepter and
Z-Freak has one as well, though. He just bought it, it's on the way. But meanwhile, Beast, taking down the Brood Mother. I just saw Master and I said, yes, Brew. Because Beastmaster isn't picked in competitive play up until this patch.
Now this is probably the most important item for Complexity right now. The Scepter onto the Enchantress, just to get that extra damage output to go.
Yeah.
Still, she is quite squishy, and I mean, Zifrik needs to do some really heavy committal into getting more hit points or armor or something, resistance-wise. Because,
I think he needs
he's
something
still
like
in kill
Bloodstone,
range from Lina if Shibi manages to pull a full combo on her. You know, just a Light Strike Array, Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade.
And BKB or Cloak.
Daisies.
Yeah, BKB or Cloak won't help you now. Lina does have that Ag Scepter, so it's pure damage. That's 980 damage. How much HP does he have? Oh, he's got 1400, but like a few right clicks from Lina, assuming she's able to get some in there, which is the challenge here.
Well, you're dumping around 500 extra magical damage with the Lina.
And with the Brood as well, probably. Now that we've got a level
just the Lina herself is like full combo, like full Sun, Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade, and maybe
it's probably enough, yeah.
Like, yeah, that should do it.
And with Lina's attack range, you can probably get a right click off. She can't run quite that fast unless she goes phase drum shields.
Lina has Fiery Soul for crying out loud, so she's gonna be able to just, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, you took 130 attack speed,
bitch. You know. That's pretty much how it comes down to.
She'll get 24% extra move speed.
So she's gonna be chasing no end. It's getting a little bit difficult because the point that I was trying to delve before is the fact that you're having a lot of minions to boot, and you know, with the proper micro you're able to have like extra bodies just to commit into teamfights and such. But at the same time, if said minions get picked off, it has the Broodmother syndrome, which is, well, you're feeding gold into the enemy team, and you're feeding a lot of gold because you're feeding, you know, jungle creeps, you're feeding necro minions, you're feeding a lot of stuff. So
I've been told by chat, by the way, Rupture, we're apparently saying Vasage, not Visage.
Did I say Vasage?
I think you did at some point. They've confirmed that there's a new hero that was added in 6.84. He's like the secret boss of the Dota 2 map, Vasage.
Oh, okay.
He's a slippery fella, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe he demands passage. Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was so bad. But still, I mean, Jenkins right now what he needs to be doing is just banking up and just macroing up. Well, Swindle.
Gonna get bashed up. Yule's out.
Dude,
and actually, the return Ice Path, they thought about the macro pyre, but it looks like Jakiro wasn't quite ready to sneeze yet. You know how he rears back and then gets ready?
I don't know, man. If I was Leviathan, I would have been a little bit more aggressive with my movements and try to commit a little bit more.
I think the problem is though.
For Jenkins.
Yeah, but if you lose a fight, like we still haven't broke a 10k advantage.
Just inching a little bit forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like if you make a mistake here,
better, you know.
Yeah, if you make a mistake here, you really have a big problem because you could quickly lose your advantage. And we got to keep in mind this complexity push stat. It's not all in on push, but they can still push quite hard. And Enchantress, if there's any spiderlings left over, she could say, "Oh, I'm gonna have a spiderling. Just thank you for being my surrogate broodmother. I've adopted one of your children. It's now a child of the sprink."
Yeah, but are you really gonna commit for a spiderling?
I mean, if you can multiply it long enough and you can keep it alive long enough, you can make tons of babies.
Touche. Okay,
I mean,
I'll grant you that.
In theory, it could work, but it's not the best, yeah.
Here's the deal, though. I feel like it's kind of a lineage push on the side of Leviathan because, again, their late game potential is quite dismal, to be honest. I mean, they're really good if they're able to get pickups and just try to bank a push on the back of that, like Jenkins getting picked off or Shibi getting picked off. That would be a better priority target. With a Beastmaster. And then try to force a high ground push. That would be really good. Oh, TP on the axe, and nope, there's not going to be any re-engage in there. But at the same time, if you're going to go for like trade tower by tower, blow by blow, Leviathan had the upper hand just because the Shrek is able to push as heavily as Complexity can do, and he's just a single hero. Just because, Shredder is just getting juiced up like really fast.
They've also almost got a sheep, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
I was about to delve into that.
Okay. Sorry for stealing your thunder there. And the worst part is, they killed Beastmaster's dog right in the pit. Like, Complexity know they're taking Roche. There's literally nothing they can do for two reasons. First of all, they can't get there fast enough. And second of all, if you're in the pit with Leshrac, like, fine by me. I'm radioactive.
You just made my job easier, man. Good. Maybe the only thing that they need to worry about is someone on the side of Leviathan should get like an ethereal blade or something along those lines, just to get the Leshrac in ethereal form, and he just keeps doing his own thing, even though he gets roared up. You know, like, oh yeah, you robbed the Leshrac, okay? I'm just gonna make him ethereal, and he's gonna still be pumping damage because he doesn't need to be right clicking.
Yeah.
Unlike you. And he might eat a little bit more magical damage, but at this rate,
he's got an Aegis and 15 Bloodstone charges. He'll be up in like 20 seconds, I think.
Besides that is the fact that gold per minute that he's raking in, this guy is gonna be floating like an Octarine core, and God knows what unholy set of extra items is gonna actually just be chugging along as well. So it's gonna be a exponentially harder target to bring down. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that this is Shrek, if he gets his way, he's gonna be sitting at around 3,000 hit points. Easy.
Yeah. Somebody's questioning how can you multiply spiders. They do have that passive ability that I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the spiderlings with their attacks naturally spawn spiderites. Yeah, applies a debuff on attack. If a debuff unit dies, a spiderite will spawn. So yeah.
I mean, you hypothetically can do it. It's just the fact that it's gonna take so much work and so much a lot of.
And you have to also make sure that you have the spiderling and not the spiderite. Because if you get a spiderite, that's all you get.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just too much work for just an army of spiders that can get cleared up, ironically, by Shredder himself as well.
And
It's
Spider
like,
Eye
oh,
has
yeah,
nothing.
I just farted, and there goes all your hard work with the spiders. So.
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
even think about that. That was stupid of me. I'm sorry. My fault. Wow, even Asia Amore is here.
Oh, wow.
Wow, we have celebrities in chat. Roll out
Well,
the red
she's
carpet,
part of
boys.
Complexity, didn't you know?
I did not realize. I thought she was just a big Complexity fan, but hey, that's great.
Yeah, just like UXA, she's part of Complexity.
Okay.
But
Learn something new
yeah,
every
I
day.
mean the push on the side of Leviathan, just blow by blow, is just flat out better.
Yeah,
You know,
and now they've got a
the-
third familiar.
Yeah, I mean Diabolic Edict on top of the Pulse. Well, look at that. That creep wave lasted what? 0.75 seconds.
I didn't even see the
Tops.
creep wave, to be honest. So like, they just
I
melt.
was able to get his Rat Dodo going, and actually, yeah, they're gonna respond in kind. So
I mean, yes, Lestrat clears these creep waves quickly, but that's still a tower that's taken down to 100 HP. I went British there, sorry. In exchange for, cool, you did 400 damage to the ranged racks. Almost. It's an
that was a little
okay
bit more of
trade.
a slip up on the side of Leviathan, to be
Yeah.
completely honest, because Fly shouldn't have the right to be split pushing so hard.
And Zfreak with the spooky, scary skeletons there did go for the Glimmer Cape as well, and I didn't think about this item here, but it's like a cheap-ish BKB. Okay, of course it costs mana. She's got 1,000 mana. She's okay.
She can go. She cool with that.
Especially with the AoE,
Here's
though.
the problem, though. I mean, they already have a gem, so the escaping faculties of
Oh, it's not for the
Glimmer Cape are gonna be
invis.
somehow limited.
I don't think she built it for the invis. I think it's just for the extra magic resist.
Yeah, the magical resistance and such, but even then, it's like that's the added bonus, and you wouldn't. I mean, you would be surprised how much of a disruption that invisibility little timer really sets up for you. It's people tend to underrate it, but just the fact that you're losing track of your target for even for a couple seconds, it really just offsets your full plan for the team fight. Now Jenkins again, nope, he's just gonna TP, so just gonna play.
The call gonna come through. This enchant from Earthshaker and the junk coming through from Zizzy. They'll be on the cliff for a second here.
Yeah, but she was just gonna TP top, and
they're both gonna TP.
Shredder and the rest are just gonna knock on the door.
They do roar Shredder though. Can they get him? They'll dunk him down. He's dead for a whole 5 seconds, and that's because the Aegis, which I couldn't see through the flames there. He does have those 15 Bloodstone charges still. They'll be able to dunk him again, but he's dead for a whopping 17 seconds this time. And Flying Zebra in a little bit of trouble as well. This could be a huge pickup for Complexity as they'll pick off 3.
They just bailed on him.
Yeah, it's enormous now. The Axe doesn't have mana, but, I mean, who needs mana when you can just push? If they get Enchantress to this Rax, I mean, she does have no creep right now, but, I mean, they'll be headed toward the jungle. Creeps spawn in 13 or so.
I don't really know what the F happened there, man, on Leviathan, to be honest.
It was Shredder getting out of position, and the rest of the team wasn't ready to follow up just yet. But again, it's still... It's a relatively low-kill game. 14 to 13 at 40 minutes in, especially for 6.84, I think we can say that, but... We'll see.
I mean, still, even then, it was like, they could have at least tried to, you know, again, just muscle up a little bit of better position, just try to get, like, the Lina nearby, and maybe land a clutch stun just to ensure his safety, or maybe just... I don't know, even place the familiars for crying out loud, but... it's just no, you're SOL, man. We're piecing out of here, and all of a sudden there's a big good momentum swing for Complexity. Again, they do need to try to end this game soonish rather than late. As good as Moonmeander is with this Earthshaker, I don't know if he is able to just dish out that huge amount of damage. Speaking of which, he is just gonna get obliterated.
But meanwhile, though, Swindle actually having the Roar pop the Lincolns, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, at least the Lincolns is down, but that's not really what you want to use it on, as he'll get hit by the Nether Strikes. Is BKB'd up here. They're sending the Necro units around on Flying Zebra. The Urn.
You cannot blink, man.
Oh!
You cannot blink. You cannot leave, man.
You can check out anytime you like, but this is the Hotel California, and you can not leave. Instead, you'll be going down. That's 4 dead for Complexity. A gem on the deck.
The gem as well.
Once again, was that a fresh gem? Yeah, it was another one. Holy crap! Do they? Hold on.
And
Let's
they
see
just
here.
lost 2 wards on the back of that, like immediately. Both of those wards were there. So
gem's out of stock for 6 minutes.
Yeah. Also, really good pickoff on Chibi with the Lincolns. Not just for himself, just for anyone else, especially like Legend Shrek. Honestly, this is a really good Lotus Orb game, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff that you could reflect and do a pretty good number into Complex's lineup. And do they have any buyback here? They have a couple, but
everyone but the Enchantress and Shaker. So I'm a little surprised ES doesn't have it. He actually went for a Yules and is going for BKB. I mean, it's not a bad item, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it does, because Leshrac, you know, Leshrac, most of his damage, if not all, is magical, but the thing is, you're gonna pop your BKB, and you're still gonna use your combo, you know, Echo Slam into Enchant Totem into Fissure, and then, you know, Enchant Totem again, and just right-clicking people like that.
But does it even do enough at this point?
How much damage output are you gonna accomplish that is gonna worth the pretty much the free time you're gonna go with the BKB, you know?
Yeah.
It's the fact that, yeah, you might be able to outlast the team fight, but at the same time, you don't have the damage to just back that off. I mean, if you had like a Chrysalis
maybe
on top of your BKB, it's like, okay, I can see that happening, you know, try to right-click people with physical damage, but...
This is big, the Lotus Orb pickup for Jakiro. Laguna Blade...
Okay.
I mean, he can use it on anyone.
That can work as well. I mean, just Laguna Blade to the Lina, that's gonna be fun, you know.
If it happens. Now, the problem is, and I'm not sure how Lightning Storm interacts with this. I want to say, does Lincoln's block Lightning Storm?
No. Oh, Lincoln's, yes. I think if you're targeting the
Lincoln's carrier. Yeah, it wouldn't block secondary strikes, I'm assuming, which means it would get reflected back at the hero. But actually, Earthshaker gonna throw out a Fissure. Shibby in here, he will get roared, and look at the damage from the Impetus! It's too strong! Flying Zebra, he's gonna try to get close to Enchantress, but she's like, no, get away from me, you big blue man. And meanwhile, over here we got Shredder. Fly will pop up the Lotus on himself, a little surprisingly, and Shredder getting taken down here. He'll go down again. That's down to 8 Bloodstone charges. The Bloodstone has basically been reset.
What the F was he doing there?
I have no idea. I think he TP'd in, maybe? I'd love to go back and look at this replay, because it's been...
Probably a TP there, but... Yeah, he even has him on cooldown, so that's what happened, but... That...
Axe has 3k gold. Wait.
This is the second time it has happened to him.
No, there are 5 buybacks available.
I thought the
Aegis.
The top lane push, but
yeah,
Leviathan, they need to be real careful. Oh, Jenkins, you're so dead, buddy.
Team, I'm back. No, you're not, Jenkins. Go home. And Zizzy just popping the Lotus Orb on himself, or having the Lotus popped on him, rather. They'll take that tower. They do have a family of spiders, just a small one, and some Visage Birds pushing out here. I'll actually kill off that boar very quickly, but with Beastmaster here to defend, I'm not too worried. He is going to pick up a BKB, which will help him out a lot here, and this is the problem for Leviathan's lineup. Again, we were saying earlier, okay, they don't right-click too hard. Well, you get a BKB, and what does this lineup do? Lina ults you.
And you have flying.
Oh, wait. But Zizzy will get hexed up here. Actually, it looks like Lotus Orb purged that off of him. Very nicely done. There's a BKB up on him as well. Fly getting killed off here, but Shredder will be taunted. They will throw out the Axe. Moon Meander with the dunk coming in. Can he do enough? Shredder on 500 life points.
Uh-oh. Ridiculous.
But Axe is coming back in. Moon Meander will fall. Does not have a buyback available.
TP though. Oh no, he TP'd on the way back, so no dice.
But they can still push off this, because Spirit Breaker is dead, Brood is still dead. Now, I don't know if they know about Spirit Breaker's buyback. I'm assuming they would realize, okay, he's probably got some.
But Leshrek's still alive, and he's just gonna clear the minions easy peasy, man. And also the Familiar's all alive, so no dice. On top of that, there's a push going on the bottom lane, so Complexity just blew up the Axe buyback, and nothing is gonna translate out of that. Nothing.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. He will get this Ancient set, but keep in mind, he's earning 60% less gold. Zizzy, get away from our Ancients! You're wasting them! You could have farmed a Creep Wave and gotten Well, a lot less gold than that, but still.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point I never thought about, is the fact that, well, why are you farming engines when you have a penalty? Don't do that. That's bad. You're making baby Jesus cry.
The yellow dinosaur creep, I don't know what it's really called right now, but it,
Yellow?
No, the real creep.
Oh, the Thunderhide?
Yes, that. It was worth as much as a lane creep. Like...
That blows.
Yeah. I put all this work, and here you go, $5. That's like, I won the lottery! I got a free ticket.
Yeah,
like
but
another
you need to pay 80% taxes, fool.
Yeah, like...
Good on you.
Go buy yourself something nice, kid. You got $10. But 19 to 19, the game... Not exactly even, but XP, only a 4K advantage. There's still a 10K gold lead for Leviathan.
They know what's up. They just scattered with the spider legs and complexity is already around the pit, so yeah.
Okay, we had another bout of US East lag. This is not a tactical pause. I seriously saw, I mean, you guys should have seen the server lagging, whatever.
Yeah, it's on both ends. So
it happened earlier too in the game, so I just didn't mention it. So, I mean, who comes out on top of this in Rupture?
How was your day, man?
my day was great. Honestly, I've done nothing. I wish I
good.
had something to do. I need a job, but whatever.
You're drinking your gerbs. Drinking your gerbs. But, yeah, on my end, nothing much. Just,
you've been casting a lot, though. Right?
Just waking up early because need to cast that Southeast Asian thingy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, honestly, for Leviathan, I think they should give Flying Zebra a couple, like, well, not a couple, but around 5 to 6 minutes just to start PvE farming, and just get it like an AC or like a really big late game physical damage item, because that should seal pretty much the win for Leviathan, if he gets a good engagement, of course, that is, but he does need first that particular item, you know.
No.
And we have
JK.
A packet lost.
Yeah, it was still lagged. Let me see here. Ping for me, 47 milliseconds. Okay, really? Really, Valve? I'm not buying 47 milliseconds. And on the next slide...
Check the packet loss, though.
The packet loss is 0. For me. But it didn't feel like that. At least. I don't know. In the meantime... See, I got stomped by VT. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Really? Well... Didn't saw that one coming.
Yeah, it got...
Kappa.
Ugh.
I mean...
Well, I mean, C9 looked good against CG earlier.
They lost in a really... I mean, Vichy Gaming did lost, like, they lost in style. You know? I mean, no, they didn't even lost. They won, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about. I'm thinking EG. Sorry.
Yeah. EG did not lose in style, Rupture. EG got wrecked.
Ah, come on. It was on style. It was a really weird style. Like, really strange draft.
Really bad style.
But it had some style, you know. And, man, this team fight is getting quite awkward. Or, quote and see, retarded. Yeah.
Can we agree to just back off? I mean, I know Complexity are better guys than this, but I want it to be like, okay, can we agree to back off? And Leviathan's like, yeah, sure. And then just...
They take Roche.
And then just, okay, thanks, see you later. I love how he's saying, otherwise I'm going to roar you. Like, we'll just play it out in D&D. Okay, roll for roar.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, to be honest, Leviathan gets a little bit of a better deal out of this, just because, I mean, Shibi is on the other side of the map. He can cancel the TP and keep split pushing, so they have a little bit better of a better uptime for... If you fuck on this, I'm flying down to Florida. Okay. Yeah, that's
Can't blame him though.
For you. Alright.
We have a very particular set of skills, and we will find you.
With honor. Oh man.
With great honor.
This reminds me of certain copy paste arena that was about Swindle back in the Han days, and yeah, that was I don't know if I'm allowed to quote him so, but yeah, man. I mean, admin don't help them.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I think Leviathan gets a better deal out of this just because Chibi.
Oh god, if you could.
Oh god.
Iceberg had the first way to break Enchantress. Like, what if her ult just went through Magic Community? That would be balanced, right?
Okay. It's just like,
Let's try it.
what's gonna happen on the back of this, you know? It's 6.85 patch notes.
Enchantress can now buy 6 Aghanim Scepters.
Alchemist is able to stack Aghanim's effects into allies.
Tiny is now dual wielding. And has Ember Spirit's Sleight of Fist.
Yeah,
like, what?
Tiny's going full akimbo there, man, and you have super range onto the Enchantress.
If he did it,
Lina
though, we
has
deserve a
a
paycheck.
Modifier, which is like super true damage or OG damage or something like that.
Is not reduced by anything. If Ursa says it reduces
amplified.
it, no.
It actually amplifies the damage.
Yeah, if you have damage
It's like
reduction...
reverse armor or something like that. You know, it's like minus armor, but, you know, magical or some shit like that.
No, like, if you buy the armor, then it actually makes it do more damage because you've tried to build armor. You know?
Yeah.
Whatever, we're getting a little nutty because, you know, it's in between the game and we don't want to talk straight. Looks like things are good, and props to the players for saying, hey, look, okay, this all looks like tactical pause on both ends, but it was just lag. Let's just back off and play on. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Here's the saving grace of this whole shebang is that both ends are having the lag, so there's no many arguments. Because I swear to God, man, if only the guys of Leviathan were having the packet losses, that chat would be way different from this.
Oh, we actually will see a 5-man smoke up here, though, Rupture. Jenkins on the bot lane. They've got Lina up top, but looks like she's about to TP. She's just checking for stragglers around here.
They saw Moon Meander just drop the fissure while he was smoked.
They saw him drop the fissure, but not that he was smoked, I believe. And actually, there'll be a roar in from Beastmaster as Shredder is going to get taunted up. This could be a disaster for Leviathan. If he dies here, he won't go down to the dunk, but can they bring him down with right clicks alone? They will be able to. That's a death on Shredder, and now he's very low, but Laguna Blade and Zizzy going down. It looked like that Laguna Blade was practically on, too. There'll be a buyback in for Leshrac. 3 down for Complexity, as Enchantress is going to get charged up. They will Yules up the Spirit Breaker.
Holy shit.
Enchantress, you got a Sporink out of there, sister. You do have the Force Staff. Gonna try to go up to the high ground to TP out. Oh, but the stun! Shimmy's here! No, not enough damage. Not heal off cooldown. No earn, because she sold it. Didn't even have time to Glimmer, really. Just...
And here's the part where Sherry just goes for the Jugular.
They have to buy back on the Enchantress as well here. But here's the problem. You've got 2 still in the side lanes. Like, you've got basically 3 support heroes here. Because, let's take a look at net worth again. They're the bottom 3 for Complexity. And this is the other problem for Complexity. Like, yes, once you get BKB's, Leviathan's team fight is somewhat meh. Okay, but your team fight is somewhat meh anyway, if Enchantress is getting focused.
And here's the problem again, is like, if you're gonna re-engage into this Leshrac, he already has an Aghanims and such. I mean, Fly is doing his...
No, he doesn't have Aghanims.
To be honest, like, God bless him, he's trying, by God he's trying, but it's just, man, you cannot really tackle this Leshrac as it is.
Oh, and keep in mind, that was a dieback for Max, as well, because he did buyback the one time and waste it, and now he doesn't have it, so his death is forever.
And, yeah, well, good
they're gonna try to...
though, and Zebra, he's just gonna go ham. Space
they can stun him,
boys.
But they get the racks, and that's Megas for Leviathan. Complexity have pretty much one shot here, and they're going to try to take it. This will be a dieback from Shredder if they can bring him down, and they probably will be able to. However, they have to push quick. And I mean, like, you need to take 2 or 3 racks. There's still 2 twos up. How are you going to do that? I'm not trying to be pessimistic for Complexity here, because, I mean, it's never over till the Ancient Stead. We know this. Just, if you play Dota, you should know it's not over till the Ancient Stead. That doesn't mean you have a really good shot of making it.
Yeah, it's all about the odds here, and
yeah.
How you do this, Also, this is a really poor lineup versus Megas. That's another part that, even if if the roles reverse, you still have a Leshrac to sort of defend, but. Versus a Broodmother as well.
Who is in your base?
Familiars. Oh god, this is the problem with this kind of heavy push lineups. Is like if you fall behind, oh son, you
are in a deep hole that you have to dig yourself out of.
You're in a shit creek with no paddles, man.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Leviathan, as long as they don't spend all their buybacks at once, it's really hard for Complexity to push.
They just need to space it out. That's all. And I'm just gonna say it. If they are able to kill ZZ, the teamfight is over.
Meanwhile, there's Mega Creeps knocking on the door, as well as a very large spider in the base. And Z-Freak, he's going to BKB up, and he'll still be dropping really quickly to the birds. Nice taunt out from Zizzy there, but actually Z-Freak's alive, miraculously. Moomiander actually getting off the stun here. A tower getting destroyed by the Dire back home there. Spiritbreaker buying back into the game. There will be a soul assumption out on Moon as Beastmaster goes down. A slam comes out, but it's just not enough damage. Z-Freak gonna fall here. That's 100 seconds on the sideline, and I think Ruptur, I said it's not over to the Ancient Falls, but if they manage to turn this one around, I will be quite amazed.
It's sitting on one tier 4 tower and fly. That's their line of defense.
Yeah, GG's gonna be called.
They're not even gonna contemplate that. That's you just see the Shrug just barreling down next to the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
You know that is just checkmate. And as I said, man, they did have a really good 5-push, or 4-man push potential there.
Yeah, it's just
but they were on a timer, and 52 minutes. I think it was a little bit. They overserved Welcome a little bit too much. Even though they tried, they squeezed out as much fight of their lineup as they could. But it comes back into the picks, man. The picks they were
didn't work out late game.
Or pretty much the structure of that lineup was built for a certain timing.
Yeah.
The timing didn't occur, or didn't occur hard enough, I would say. Leviathan were able to stabilize. And afterwards, it's just, what Dota happens,
Yeah.
And even Flying Zebra, I think it could have been a little bit more greedy and get a little bit more of items and get a bigger impact on the teamfights, but he was already ramping up as it is, so...
Yeah, and he didn't really need to. They still had the team fight covered with Visage, Lina, and Lesh, so... Anyways, that'll be game number 1. That is the first defeat for Complexity in the JDL League Season 6, excuse me, right now. But we'll be going over to game number 2 just shortly, where Leviathan could potentially take their first loss. We have to remember how close this game was throughout, at least in terms of kills, if not in terms of just pressure being put on. It's just Complexity, their draft didn't work out. So hopefully they'll change a few things. Of course, you're watching Truesight TV. I'm SB Revolution 5, joined here by Ruptur with a 3 instead of an E on the end. You can find us on Twitter at those names. Of course, don't forget to follow the channel. We're working to get partnered with Twitch TV and giving you guys quality options and sub button there. So the more followers, the more viewers we have, the better chance we have of that, and we'd really appreciate it. So, yeah.
And Brewer would stream with a sombrero if that happens.
Sure. I'll find a sombrero somewhere. I'll do it. Anyways, we will be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. Game 2 coming up next.